Gary Jenkins, and welcome to another show of the Jenkins Art Studio. Today we're going to paint something, and this show is really for all you beginners out there. On every series I do, I like to do at least one painting of poppies, because the poppy is the basic flower. It's the basic flower that if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to paint flowers, you want to learn how to paint roses, the poppy's the one to learn from. And today I'm going to take you through all the brush strokes that's needed to paint not only the poppy, but to paint many different flowers. So let's come on down. Let's take a look at the painting I'm going to be working from. There it is. We're going to be painting some yellow poppies and some pink. And look at the action. We have leaves jumping all around the bottom and wonderful color down there. So let's take a look at the canvas that we'll be working from here. This is an 18 by 24 canvas. And I have a very thin coat of white on here. You can't see it, but it's there. And this is going to help the paint to flow for us. So we're going to come down, I'm going to dip into the medium. Now you don't see me dipping into this all the time, but this is it, just good old medium. And a lot of folks say, well, what is medium? What does medium do? Medium is like water is to a watercolorist. Medium helps the paint to flow along. The brush I'm using is a number, let me see if I can see it without my glasses. It's a number 22 bright. And this is going to paint all these wonderful flowers. And we'll be getting into a blending brush that we'll use to blend all the color together. And maybe a filbert, who knows, we'll just kind of play around and see where this takes us. The first thing we want to do is we'll take a little touch of orange. And we're just going to use this to sort of sketch in where the poppies are going to go. Now you notice how loose and free that I put the sketch in. And you don't want to pile one on top of the other. And if you guys get a little bored out there, we'll put a little happy faces on our flowers so you'll have something to look at so you don't get terribly bored. Now let's come down to the palette and let's pick up a little green and sienna, a little touch of medium, green and sienna. And we're going to take this up and using a notice that crisscross, boy, look at that paint flow on there. Don't you love paint? The way it just flows, there's some sienna. Remember, I have a thin coat of white on here. I'm going to put some dark up here. I'm down just picking up some more green and sienna. A nice dark up here. And I want this dark in there as a backup behind the poppies so the poppies will pop out of there. We're going to pop your poppy. Now, this color, we're going to take, well, let's take a little cerulean blue mixed with a little touch of white. And we'll take that color and throw a little of that up in there. Put a little over here. Put a little up here. A little over there. Who cares? Just get it on and do it to it. Now, we have a pretty rough edge around the outside, and that's where we use the big blending brush. And we're going to take this, and remember there was some white on the canvas, and we're going to blend this out. And just let it go until we soften this color out. Remember, I have a thin coat of white on the canvas. So this color is blending in to that thin coat of white. And we just keep pulling it out until it just disappears. Now, a lot of you beginners, this is the flower to start with. It's the basic flower. We don't want to be intimidated by the canvas. A lot of folks say, oh, good grief, we have this big white canvas and oh, I'm afraid. Don't be afraid. It's easy to say, don't be afraid. Let's take a beautiful color. Look at this color. This is called Cobalt Violet. I'm going to take that up here and plunk some Cobalt Violet in. Let's get a little more of it. Didn't quite show up. A little more. But, well, it's going in on top of that blue. So the blue is sort of killing the violet a little bit. But there's a little touch of it in there anyway. Let's start laying in our poppies. Now this is called the base tone. A little touch of medium. We'll take some ochre, yellow ochre, and we're going to block in a poppy here. Now I'm going to go and block in all of the flowers first, and then I'll show you how to pick the petals out. Again, this is the best flower for you to learn from. This flower leads you right into painting roses, all kinds of neato flowers. Here we have yellow, and we'll place it right up here just to add a little more yellow tint to our yellow flower. And let's come down to the palette because we're going to block in our next flower, and we'll take some pink, which is made up of cad red light and some white. And we're going to take that color and we're going to block our next flower in. Whoa, I got, well, it started out pink. Let's put a little more in there, so, because I had a little yellow in there, which caused it to go a little on the orange side, but it doesn't matter. When you're painting, all kinds of different things will happen up here. Now we've got this one blocked in, we have this one has more yellow, this one has a little more pink, and we have the top one, which has definitely more pink, and we're going to take that pink mixture and come on up. And notice the stroke. It goes from the outside in towards the center, and we don't want to put this on thick. Now this painting is for all you folks out there that are beginners, that have wanted to try floral painting. Maybe you're a little afraid of it. This poppy painting will get you all started in the right direction. We have to add a little depth to the flowers, whether you're doing roses or poppies, really doesn't matter. We're going to come down and pick up a little crimson, wonderful, deep, dark crimson, and place a little of that in this flower. No medium this time, a little in here, a little in there. And you'll see me using paper towels all the time. I'm going to wipe off the crimson off the brush, and we're going to block or pull that color out. And you pull it all the way out, but we don't do it all the way around. Boy, look at that color. It's just blowing and it's just exploding out of there. And don't be afraid of color. That's why I like flowers, because of all the wonderful color. Of course, all of you know, or some of you know, that Kathwren and I moved to a town in Oregon called Ashland. And we have a wonderful rose garden where we have all kinds of roses growing. We even have some poppies. We've got all kinds of stuff. Here's a photograph you might of a poppy. We, Kathwren, planted several of these in our garden. And it's not the poppy we're painting today, but it is a poppy, and it's sort of a neat flower. And also, we get a lot of our inspiration from our garden. And this is the back of the house, and this shows you the garden. You see that picket fence back there? Built that myself, sure did. But this is where we go out with our camera and take lots of pictures and for reference. Y'all need to get out and take pictures, because if you don't take photographs, you simply keep painting the same thing over and over and over. So we have our garden out back, and Kathwren and I will either go there or we go to rose gardens that are not too far from us with our camera. We have hundreds and hundreds of pictures to refer to. Well, let's see. We've got our painting. We've got our poppies blocked in. Maybe we'll put some leaves with our painting before we get into the poppies. We have a lot of pastel leaves that we'll start with. So we have blue and white. The white's already mixed with the blue. This is cerulean blue and some white. And maybe we'll add a little more white to it to really lighten her up. I'll load up both sides of the brush, this side and the other side. Now we're going to come up here, and we're going to just put some of these real pale leaves in. We've got some over there. We're going to put, some over here. Now let's take a look at this stroke. Let's come in real close, right in this area here. I want to show you how you handle your brush and how you paint these little wiggle leaves. First, the brush goes down. Notice how it's flattened out. You wiggle in place, come up and out. Now let's do one way out here. It's down, wiggle, up and out. We even got a little color down there. Look at that. God is smiling on us. Let's try it again. Wiggle, up and out. And now once you learn to do these, don't go crazy because it is fun to do these. All right. Now, we're going to come down to the bottom. We're going to put in some larger leaves. We've got a nice kind of a mauve purpley color, and we'll mix that over here. Experiment on your palette, guys. Just, even if you're a beginner, just play like a child plays and have fun. And if your painting turns out crummy, and if you don't like your painting, give it to somebody you don't like. Yeah, they'll probably love it anyway. Here, wiggle color in. Let's get a little of that. Look at that purpley leaf going in. Let's have another one down here, way down at the bottom. You wiggle color in, angle that stroke towards the back, and there's another large, loose leaf going in. Another one here, wiggle, and another one going in. Look how loose and free. Don't tighten up with this stuff. We're going to have a change of color because you can't have all of the same leaves all over. Maybe we'll take some yellow and ochre together. Maybe a little of this, maybe a little of that, maybe some of this. Who cares what we have? We're all over. Let's just pick up stuff. You say, you're so afraid of color, and you say, well, should I use this? Or maybe, who cares? This. Let's see what this garbage will do for us up here. We're going to come up here and paint with our garbage color. And look at that, it has a little blue in it. Who cares? It looks cool. It's a lighter shade of that. And I just went down and picked up garbage. Let's garbage it up again. Let's go for garbage on our palette. We have white. We have yellow. See, if you're a beginner and you're saying, oh, these artists know what they're doing. No, we don't. We don't. We just try to stand up here and look cool. Let's come up here and put another one in with garbage leaves. Yes, there's another leaf. Who cares? But look, it looks good. It doesn't matter, guys. What does matter is the technique. We wiggle color in, angled towards the back, and there's another leaf. And it doesn't matter what color you picked up. We better get to these poppies. Woo! We got sharp-looking leaves, but the poppies are going down the So let's get on this one and start out. Now again, if you're a beginner, you want to take and let's sketch in our petals first. Yellow and white. And we'll have a little petal here. Say there's a petal. Now again, this is for beginners. And even those of you that are intermediate. Some of you have been studying floral painting and been learning the wrong stuff. Pay attention. I'll show you the right way to do this. Here we have two petals here. We have two petals in the back. We have a vanishing point here and here. Now we're going to stroke towards that vanishing point and watch how easy this happens. We start at the top of the petal and we follow the arrows. There's a petal. Follow the arrow. Whoa, look at that color getting in there. Follow it. Look at that beautiful color. I didn't plan that, just got in there. Now for your back petals, you have these little lines going like this, all heading towards the center. I'm down here just picking up some yellow and white. And we're up here, and watch it happen, guys. One stroke overlaps the previous stroke. No medium, because this is already wet. Watch it happen. Right before your eyes, this flower will bloom. We have another petal that sort of overlaps, and that goes in right there. Now this is the middle tone. It's not, we don't have our lights on yet. We have some back petals that are here, overlapping here. No medium, I'm just picking up paint without medium, again, because it's already wet. Look at it happen. Look how transparent, you can almost see right through the poppy. Now let's take a little white. We're going to pop our poppy. Sorry about that. We're going to take our white, come on up and load up a little more light on there. And a little bit in here. Look at that light hitting in there. And here. Now you see we're just turned on the sunshine. And again, you beginners, go for it. Pick that brush up and have at it. Look at that thing just blossoming out. Yes. And let's put on some strokes that mean something, some strong, get some energy in it. I see people that paint, oh, they're so tired. Oh, oh, I'm going to lift up my brush and paint today. And they have no energy. So if you don't have energy, the painting won't give you any energy back. You have to put the energy in, and the painting will give it back to you 100 times more. Yeah. Let's try the next one. We're going to take some white. And this time, well, that's pretty close to this color, but we might take a little pink and put with our white and just see what that does. Now remember, after you've put your sketch in, for you beginners out there, you're going to find that you no longer have to put your sketch in. You'll see it in your mind's eye, whatever that is. What is your mind's eye? Does that mean your mind has an eye? I don't know. I have the vision of a big eye in my mind. And then we come around up here, and here's our top poppy, petal going in. Next one, notice the first stroke is curved, then it straightens out and curves back. And if you guys, some of you are intermediate and advanced and been doing floral painting, it doesn't hurt for you to do a floral painting now and then, to loosen up and get free and get loose. And it does take practice to become loose. You have a natural tendency to paint tight. So remember, when you get up here to paint, it's all attitude, really. Paint loose and paint free. Just put another leaf right in there. Let's go put our top one in. The top one is really more on the pink side. So I just picked up some pink and some white. And we're going to get that way up at the top. And there's a petal. And we're going to put another petal in here. Remember those arrows that we put in? I didn't put them in this time. But you sort of visualize the arrows on the petal in your mind's eye. There's your top petals. Pick up your white, a little pink, and go for it. Put that brush down. You see how the brush is, the heel, you see how those hairs are bent? And as I come around and I pull up on the brush and the hairs are coming back. You see? And it's all ready for the next stroke. That's why you can't use a bristle brush with this stuff. You need these soft hair brushes that will pop back. The hairs will pop back. Another petal in there. Now this is kind of getting a little bit mushy. There's not enough contrast. So I'm going to take a little more white and take that up here. And you're going to see how the white, you see how it punched that petal right out of there. Another one here. And we're going to punch that petal right out of there. There. A little touch back here. Why not? Maybe some of that sunshine is back there. Maybe some of it's here. And always stand back and look at your painting and see how it's coming along. See what it needs. Now down in here we have some leaves. They're kind of boring. They're just kind of one color. And we have all this wonderful warm color up here. Let's take some of that pink and white mixture, and we're going to take that. And let's take one of these leaves right in here, and we're going to tint it. Bend those hairs and flip it. Bend and flip. Bend and flip. Now you see, when you bend, watch the hairs come in, and when you flip it, it blends that back side. Now let's see what happens if you don't flip. Let's do it on this one right here. If you just come in and stop, look what happens. You see that sharp edge? So you want to make sure you flip it so that backside blends. And this ties the leaves in with everything else that we're doing with all the flowers on top. Now we do have some centers that we want to put in. We use the same brush, and we'll come up here and we'll pull the center out like this. This is the stuff the bees love. And we'll come over to the next one, way over here. And we'll get that one. And we're going to go up to the top, way up here. And we'll get some of that coming out of there. Okay, then we're going to come down to the palette and pick up a little orange and yellow just on the tip of the brush. And we're going to take that up here, and just with the tip of the brush, just tap, 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 tap. See how easy that is? You think you can do that? I think so. A little up here. And this is a nice, this isn't a Mickey Mouse painting. This isn't a project. I hate it when they call paintings projects. A painting is an oil painting. A painting is a painting. It's not a project where you're putting little funny noses on things. It's an oil painting. Look at that center going in. It's kind of, and it's vibrant. Look at that shot right in there. It's lush. And if you guys want a little more instruction on how to do all this, I'm sure you can find it in our painting packet. I'm adding a little more yellow and orange. Look at, remember where we put pink in down here? Now I'm going to go in with another color. Watch this. Kaboom, look at that. Kaboom, ba-boom, ba-boom. It's the small stuff that makes it happen. Yes, yes. And if you want to write us and let us know, we teach classes all over the country, so if you want to get in touch with us, it'll be on the end of the show. And we can let you know where we're going to be teaching. And you can also check out our good old website. Right up in here, we left a place out right in here where we have some back petals going in. Now I want that flower to be pushed all the way into the back. So I'm going to take a little, that beautiful leaf that I was showing you how to do, and watch how we go over the top of that. And you see how that, and over the top of that one, you see how it just pushed that back? I love that area right in there, just like that. To blow that up and paint a big painting, just kind of an abstract. Look at the color. It's wonderful. Now, boy, that one went right in pretty fast. We'll take a little more yellow and do a little yellow. I must be going colorblind. It's white. Very dry. You see, if you work with your white dry, it'll stick to the surface. But you don't want to go that bright. So we're going to tone it down with a little more yellow. Don't forget out there, when you finish painting, to condition your brushes, because it will save them and keep you from having to buy new brushes all the time. Because when the brushes dry out, they're really shot. They no longer will chisel, so you have to really condition them. Always stand back and look at your painting and see where you are. Because if you're painting with your nose right up against it, you might be looking good here, but Rome might be burning up top. Stand back and look. Now, what do you do if you want a flower, cover up some of these white edges, to pop? You don't make the flower lighter, because you don't want to do that. So what you do is you take a dark and you sneak in behind, a little dark underneath to add a little shadow. And this will help pop these flowers out of there rather than making the petals too light. Anytime you put a dark underneath a flower, always bring the petal back over the dark to set the petal on top of the dark. Well, I think we did pretty good, and I hope all of you beginners out there want to take a shot, get those brushes out, get those paints out, put a sketch on there, block your poppies in, and pick up some color and mush it around on there and pick those petals out and get those leaves going. I know you can do it. It's just a matter of making up your mind and saying, yes, I can. Thanks for watching out there. Don't forget to stop and smell the poppies along the way. God bless, and I'll see you next time.